is Chris Guzman with your weekly Thursday night injection of boxing talk, updates, and all-out arguments. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. It is Thursday night, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, 2008. We are live from the Golden Leaf, 651 in Hoboken, Indiana, the greatest cigar lounge this side of anywhere.
Great interview tonight coming up.
Andre Berto. Cannot wait to hear that. That is good stuff. Every time we have him on, he's phenomenal. And he had one hell of a fight against Michel Trabant, who was supposed to be his biggest step up, and actually on paper was his biggest step up. And he treated him like he's treated everyone else.
Estrada was probably a little bit tougher fight for him.
It ended up being a tougher fight, but on paper, Trabant was supposed to be a step up from Matty.
Yeah. But worked out pretty well for him. He got the knockout, so...
We asked him why he doesn't have a nickname. He's gonna discuss that for sure. I cannot wait. 21-0, 18 knockouts. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. Plus, he's an Olympian. Awesome. Obviously, the big story this week in the world of boxing, Carlos Quintana beating, dominating.
Well, there were two pretty big upsets, actually. Friday Night Fights was a pretty big upset as well.
Ding-A-Ling didn't do what we thought he was going to do. I figured he was going to mop the floor.
Yeah, I actually said last week that I thought he was going to have some trouble with this guy.
Who did?
PJ Flores, I believe
his
name is. And proved that he was a slick boxer. And then Quintana does it a couple nights later, shows he's a slick boxer. Actually, he put on some weight, it looked like to me. He said he was strength training.
Quintana looked a little bulkier than I'm used to seeing him.
It seemed like he hit a little harder, too. He always had the speed.
Oh, that was the only thing that kept him from getting knocked out in the first round against Cotto.
Yeah.
Was that Cotto had to get to him first. But when he did, it was all over. But no, Quintana was all over Williams. I mean, we'll talk about the fight.
Quintana's a very underrated fighter.
I mean, people think that because he has one loss that he's washed up. Oh, he's just, he's an undercard fighter. People are forgetting also that Williams was not supposed to fight Carlos Quintana. This was actually the date that was slated for him to fight, I can't remember his name all of a sudden, Kermit Cintron.
Oh, yeah, Cintron. Cintron broke his hand or whatever.
Cintron screwed up his arm in his fight with Jesse Feliciano a little while back, month and a half ago. And so, I mean, not really last minute, it's been a couple of weeks, but Carlos Quintana was brought in to fight.
That's a pretty hefty fill-in.
Oh, if you got to fill in, bring in a janitor. Don't bring in a guy that you could just as easily lose to. But I mean, Paul Williams was feeling, top of the world.
Yeah, let me put this out there. We're 1 week into the month of February for the boxing prediction league, but you can still get in because nobody
all
scored
zeros.
Yeah.
All zeros. Everyone picked Paul Williams.
And I was the last one to post my pick. Greg got in late. But I was the last one to post my pick on time, and I was going to go the other way just because everybody picked Paul Williams, and I figured I could either be way ahead or be behind and just scratch the bump.
I bet on the fights this weekend. I bet on a bunch of fights, and I thought I actually lost my bet. Then I remembered that when I bet on this fight, I realized that the odds were so much in favor of Williams. I'm like, Quintana's good. I'm not going to bet for him to win. I'd rather bet, because there was 9.5, was the over-under that it would last. So I bet the over because I knew Quintana would have a good chin. And I ended up winning a few bucks this weekend.
Very nice. Okay, so the next cigar's on you.
Yeah. No, I didn't win that many bucks. Timmy won all the cigars last week in the poker game.
By the way, Line and Kugels is not a sponsor of our show just yet, but they will be very soon after they see that what I'm about to do. Line and Kugels Big Butt Doppelbock is what we're drinking tonight. Very, very good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. It goes really good with cigars, too.
Oh, wonderful. I've been dunking it in the beer. So you're right. It does go really well. We're going to take our first break of the night. We'll be right back, and we'll go through all the fights that got us through the week. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance. www.hssb.cc, sportsjuice.com.